ashamed of my own inhibiting. So take it now, unarm me from my tethering now. Lift my frail, dry bone. Whisper new life through my vocals. Lift my frail, dry bone. Still high, on course, leave no stone unturned. A feeble light discern beyond what I ever could have earned. Beyond what I ever could have earned. You hold me now, hold me now, hold me now. Beyond what I ever could have. Hold me now, hold me now, hold me now. Beyond what I ever could have earned. Lift my
You light the way for me. Everybody is searching for empathy. You light the path for me. Illuminate. Words are decline, my pretense. Drifting, can't control. Everything is on hold. Reflection, I can't reload.
How's it going, guys?
Oh, pretty good, Maxie. I think we had a glitch here. The stream just stopped.
Oh.
So anyway, you want me to play that intro? Let me see if it'll play. It must be something on StreamYard's end because all I'm doing is playing what's stored here. So anyway, go ahead,
so
Matt.
much for that.
Yeah.
Smack. Oh,
Yes.
Jesus. So,
It
we're
wasn't me,
missing our
right?
host. Angelus was going to host today, but he's not. He's not here. Oh well, them's the breaks.
Well, I can pinch hit for him if you want.
Hello, everybody.
How's it going, Foxfire?
Oh, fine.
Well, as usual, the chaos reigns supreme.
Yes.
I shall stand in for Angelus until he gets here.
Yes.
And,
And
anyway, welcome to the Alita Army channel. This is Radio Chaos, the voice of the Alita Army in total chaos this morning. Well, it's this morning in Australia, but of course, we're worldwide, so there you go. It's episode 93. Is Arcane channeling Alita Battle Angel? Where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gubu, and the greatly desired sequels. I'm your host for this episode until Angelus gets here, and I'm Max Tack, and with me are Muskogee Creek in Denver, Colorado. How you doing, Muskogee?
Hoka, hey, Elite Army.
There you go. We're starting to sail along okay now.
Yeah.
Hopefully Angelus, who was supposed to host, will be here shortly. And we have two guests with us this week. First up is Enigma Seeker. No, you're not in Texas anymore, are you, Enigma? You moved, didn't you?
No, I'm at the Creaky. You remember the number? I forgot
Oh,
what
yeah.
it is. Farm
Yeah.
Factory something. 23.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Factory
Yeah.
Farm 23. Cool. Which
Yeah.
state is that in?
Missouri.
Yeah.
Missouri. Okay.
It's the land of misery, so Yukito must have chose that area for Kansas City, Missouri. You know.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Actually, it's a pretty nice state. It's the land of misery, so Yukito must have chose that area for Kansas City.
Oh, and our late running host is here. G'day, Angelus. How you doing?
Actually, it's a pretty nice state.
Pretty good. Now, is my mic working?
You could have been pretty good
Yes.
10 minutes ago, but oh well.
Yeah.
And I'll just introduce our last guest. It's Foxfire from Germany. How you doing, Fox?
hello, everybody.
Oh,
You can
because
see that
then-
nothing's changed. Things are
Oh,
still
not really.
terribly well organized. Oh, dear. You got the show notes up yet, Angelus?
I'm just getting that up now because I just spent the aforementioned last 10 minutes trying to get my damn mic to work,
Oof.
which is funny because it was working yesterday for Creaky stream, but not for this one.
Hmm.
So the chaos must be contagious.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah. We had chaos yesterday too. The stream stopped just like it did today. So I don't know what's going on with that. So
Bug report to StreamYard.
yeah, perhaps. Yeah.
Could be that I'm showing my video. Did you guys show your face? 'Cause sometimes I can slow down the stream if you show your face. I don't know.
No,
Well,
I
it's
don't
your
think
play a
internet.
video and it's
No, I don't
breaking.
think that has anything to do with it. I played that intro video. I don't know how 50 times, maybe. I don't know, or 40 times, something that never has done that before, and it did it last night too for the same, the same kind of video. So,
Well, YouTube has been messing around with things now, taking the
Yes.
dislikes away.
yeah, that's right.
I miss those.
Yeah,
I mean, what's the point of taking them away? It makes
It's
no
political, I bet. You should have seen the White House YouTube channel. It was, like 80% dislikes, so people kind of stormed it, and I think that was one of the reasons.
Yeah, I think there was some
political
powerful
stuff.
people who were getting disliked and they didn't like it, and made things change.
A lot of big YouTubers didn't like it. Even I think Mr. Beats might have said something about that too. He didn't like it.
Well, the internet's full of trolls,
Yeah.
except for the Elite Army. You know, we're the exception.
Yep.
Trolls that live under bridges. All right. Finally got everything up and running. So I'll wait.
Just a message, Angelus. I put a couple of things in red there that I want you to note as we go through the show notes, just so you know.
I'm liking that thumbnail. Jeez.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? Did you do that, Maxie?
Oh, what, the poster?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I threw that together yesterday.
Nice.
I was like, wasn't there a tweet about the two of them and side by side stuff? And I'm like, I can't find it anywhere. Okay, start from scratch. Google, help me.
Yeah.
I couldn't actually get a shot of Alita.
Google fixes everything.
Yeah.
I couldn't actually get a picture of Alita with the Gatling gun, but I had to pull one from the IMAX version.
Hey, did you guys want to get John in here? I know he's a big fan of Arcane. You want to invite?
I've already sent Odd John a link.
Oh,
He's got to get his finger out of his butt and get in here. But knowing how good his connection is, I don't know if that's going to work.
You might be converting to the Arcane army. I don't know. Not that they need one.
There's an Arcane army,
or the Jinx army.
Yeah. Well, she's well named.
Yeah. League of Legends.
Yeah.
Have you seen Zensui's video that he did that he threw together?
No.
Not yet. No.
It's freaking awesome. The song matches so well. I recommend everybody check it out.
Yeah.
And got one complaint about it. Not enough for leader. And he's like, yeah, sorry, I had to throw this together in like 3 hours. It was.
I've still yet to. Oh, hang on, let me turn that off. Alrighty. So, in the news today, with the usual Schmidt report, Charlie's coming in, letting us know that Dua Lipa's Swan Song, which is the, you'd call it the main sort of track for the soundtrack, wouldn't you?
It's the closing theme, basically.
Well, it's apparently topping the charts in top 10s in quite a few countries, but as you can see, it's reached first in Belgium, Mexico, and the Netherlands, as well as fourth place in China.
Nice.
That's kind of surprising.
And ironically enough, Swan Song was 99th in the music charts in Germany, so trust the Germans to set that up.
Yeah,
Is that
make it
Foxfire? Did you make it?
Did you do that, Foxfire?
Sorry, did what?
Did you make that song number 99?
In Germany.
Not.
I only just realized that because I was going through the news, thinking how to present it and whatnot, and then I just realized that this song was number 99 in Germany. It's like, oh, all right.
Is she an American singer or is she British? Dua Lipa?
Lady says she does well in the UK. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I don't think she's that popular here. I mean, I heard her one time in a hotel.
Now, this little factoid about the Blu-rays is quite nice.
Oh.
Where Ready Player One, which I think made like a few $1 million more than Alita, it cost like 10 or 15 $1 million more to make, but like, you know, similar numbers, enough where you could say it's comparable. but it was ranked 324th. That particular movie there, which we won't mention, is ranked 716th, but Leader is 207. So it's even blowing
Oh, wow. Cool.
Ready Player One out of the water.
I did notice that I went to a Walmart. There are 3 Alita DVDs left, and then the next week later they were gone. So maybe people are buying them.
Yeah, I went to Best Buy here about a week ago, and there was still, I think there were 3 Alita Blu-rays in there. I didn't look for the DVDs, but
Isn't Dennis responsible for about 100 points of that ranking?
probably as many as he's given away.
Yeah.
Well, considering how many he brought, realistically, he's probably responsible for a few points of the ranking as well.
Probably 10% of the sales go to his account.
Yeah.
So Charles Smith says Juliepa is British. I'll take his word for it.
Yep. So did Lottie.
Well, isn't Vladi lucky?
Yes.
But
And Jealous, it looks like Charles Smith agrees with you about Black Lotus. If you look in the text chat.
we'll get to
It's popped up.
I think imitating is a little bit too hard of a word. I think
Yeah,
they took some visual cues, probably, but
Yes.
that's only surface level.
Yeah, what little I've seen of it, it's different in a lot of ways.
we'll address that later when we get to the main topic.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually kind of confused if we're talking about Black Lotus or Arcane.
Oh Lord!
Arcane. Finally,
But,
John's in. Finally.
Yes,
Because if
ever
we're-
turn from the grave.
Because if we're talking about surface level, well,
Ooh.
like I said, we could get into all that. But that's the Blu-ray side of the Charlie Schmidt report. Now, as Maxi mentioned earlier, then so we did release another Alita video. This time it's much like today's topic, linking Alita Army, Alita with the Arcane show. And
Hopefully that
yeah,
explodes.
whether you use Twitter to locate it or whether you use YouTube itself to locate it, definitely check it out because you always enjoy it.
Mhm.
I just love all, like, anything and everything Alita.
It's a good song. I hadn't heard it before.
It's a very good song.
I haven't looked into that. Need to watch his trailer there.
But yeah, definitely, by the look of it, definitely, like I never even noticed it until now, but definitely could use more Alita. But hey,
Yeah, he
Releases a
kind of
little
did it
bit.
off the
Like,
cuff.
That's a massive
you like what
spoiler,
you
by
like.
the way. That's the final scene of the season. So.
Yeah, I was about to say something, but too late. I guess this is a spoiler stream now.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to talk anything if you can't do at least some spoilers. But
Yeah.
how do you want to compare them then? They say, oh, they kind of look
Yeah.
the same and kind of do the same, and then we are done.
Right. It's gonna be really hard to talk about it without bringing up certain things.
Well, before the main topic, we'll have a big spoiler warning.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah. In any case, something new regarding the Schmidt report is he's come up with this little tweet here. Leader Battle Angel has story arc similar to a Western movie, which you can link with the Badlands, the Matrix, which you can link with the Ouroboros chapters. which that kind of link
Yeah.
again, it's stuff like this you don't notice until someone
Yes.
actually walks
Points
up to you
it
and
out.
slaps you in the face
Yeah.
at it. Iron Man's Armor Wars, which is Alita versus Japan, and that makes sense as well because you got whether you come in from the context of bounty hunters versus bounty hunters, cyborgs versus cyborgs, but I mean that's practically half the until you get to the Zot. That's practically the
And
main part of the story, or at least from a combat perspective.
another one you can't forget is Inception. Ouroboros? Question mark.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. That's very much like that. Yeah.
Then you've got, I guess in a way, you've got the Rocky story in Joshigan versus Alita, and then obviously you got Alita playing the underdog in Rocky's character, and Joshigan taking the role of basically the opponent at the time. Tron, Alita versus Melchizedek. It's been a very long time since I've last seen it, so
No, I can see it.
how many yeah.
I can see it. Now, when she goes into the
Yeah.
system.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I've never actually watched Tron. Not a single one of them.
What?
I've never
Oh,
seen
yeah,
it.
I wasn't too
Naughty
appealed
boy.
by it.
Missed out, my friend.
They're
A
good,
whole new
actually.
education.
Foxfire's
Yeah.
like, this must change.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should take that.
Blasphemy.
That's
Yeah,
that's
gotta
right, because I haven't seen
burn the heretic.
what's the movies I haven't seen, Maxi, that you were sort of berating me for? I forget now.
Which reference?
Blade Runner, that's right.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
never seen
Oh, really?
Blade Runner before.
Oh man,
I-
that's
I could not believe you had not seen Blade Runner. I
I saw
actually
Blade Runner
opened
in
when
the
I heard
cinema.
that.
Just
when
like
I was,
I
like,
believe, I
12.
couldn't believe that you never watched Tron before. So there you go.
Yeah,
True,
but what
true.
What makes it harder
Well, I got
in your case is that you have watched Black Lotus animated series without watching the movie, so that makes your
Yep.
case more severe.
It's gonna be interesting.
I've even read the books. I've read Blade Runner and the follow-up novel, which
Yeah.
has nothing to do with the sequel. I might say.
well, the Creek has seen Tron and Blade Runner, so there you have it. So
Have you seen Tron Legacy?
yes, I've seen I saw
Good
Tron
man.
Legacy.
Good man.
It sort of does match my Alita journey though, because with Alita, I have seen the like the animated movie, if you will, the most. Never read the manga though, even though I knew it existed. But I never had a desire to like own it or buy it until I watched the movie. And I'm thinking the same thing might be with this Black Lotus thing. Like, I guess because I was able to go in and watch it from just like a blank slate, judging by, I think it was Uriel that said that, if I liked Black Lotus that much, then, the movies are just going to blow me away. And, he's been on the spot so far. And so I have no reason to not trust his word of mouth sort of thing when it comes to like movie recommendations and whatnot. So I'm thinking, wow, if he says that, then I'm actually kind of looking forward to watching it. And so watching Black Lotus makes me wanted to go back and actually delve into the history of it, much like the movie version of Alita. The movie version wanted me to find out more about her story, like her real story, which is in the manga. And, now I own like the $300 box set and whatnot.
This is breaking news.
Yes,
given
I
to
was
us from
gonna say that.
Vladdy, but there's that Star Wars girl cosplaying Alita at Comic Con.
Nice.
Oh shit!
That's
There
kinda
you
cool.
go.
Nice,
This is a live
nice.
stream.
That's
Also-
great representation.
Also, we
yeah.
did a poll with her, which I kind of really pushed on you guys, and we won surprisingly. So she might have saw that poll and was like, "Well, maybe people liked Alita," or she just realized we were just kind of trolling her.
Well,
I said
I-
sorry to her, but I
Yeah.
think I don't think she minded that we
Yeah.
did that.
I know the Creaky did a lot on the tweet deck on that one.
Yeah, thank you, Creaky. Yeah, that really helped. We got over 2,000 people on that.
Yeah.
Wow. But I also
I
feel like
won't run
when,
that too long because I don't want to get us yeeted
Yeah.
using somebody else's
Yeah.
content.
what I want to
It's
say
a
is like
review.
about the Star Wars girl, when she puts out some polls like that, and she should know us very well that we are flogging that kind of things, and so
She's aware of me. I've talked to her, well, commented with her once on the Facebook group, but that's
Mm.
about it.
It's not like our modus operandi is unknown by this stage. You know,
Yeah,
I've only been doing it for a couple
Yeah,
of
she's
years.
aware of us now,
Yeah.
definitely.
she
Um,
knows we flooding polls and stuff.
I also have
You
another.
know
little
how the
news
saying
that-
goes.
Angeles, could I share
Or-
my or maybe one of you guys could pull it up my Twitter feed about Netflix?
Yeah, just put it on just you hit share. There's the middle
Oh.
button down there at the
Okay,
bottom,
I-
and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Share screen.
yeah. Enigma's a tech savvy guy. He can figure this out. So
Let's see.
You know what they say, speak of the angel and her army arrives.
right. That's
That's what
exactly
the meme
right.
says.
So,
It's not a meme if it's true, is it?
No, it's
I mean, if Alita is on the poll, we are going to smack this.
Let me know if you guys see my page.
Yeah. Yep, we can see it.
Okay, so I had a little kind of idea here about Netflix, and I'm glad we got a big response. I think that was also helped because of Star Wars Girl.
Yeah.
She retweeted that, so that really did help. And I think it's possible now. I didn't realize it, but right here you can go onto Netflix and request TV shows and movies. Now, do they check this out often? Well, if we get dozens of us doing that, because I highly doubt that many people use this. So
Yeah.
whoever's the PR director, it may be looking at this and then considering it if they get enough people requesting it. And if it's in Canada, then it can be in the US. They just need to get permission from
Yeah.
Disney, and Disney might let it go a little sooner. Eventually, it's probably going to be on Netflix. It could be 2 years down the road, possibly. I
Yeah,
don't know.
for mere money, they'll let it go.
Yeah, so I highly recommend everybody to do this, especially if you're in the US.
Yeah.
Put in requests, just maybe not 3 times, maybe at least once or twice. And then we'll see if they respond.
Do you have to have a Netflix account for that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, directly
Yep.
on your Netflix account. You have
Yeah.
to log in and then look
Yeah.
under the contacts.
Admittedly, I still haven't done it.
Little hint at that position.
Yeah.
I would I wouldn't like spam Alita Battle Angel for
No.
all 3 because that looks kind of troll. So either just one
Yeah,
and
yeah.
fill
I
the other
did.
2 with other movies, or leave them out. So that looks serious at all. At least.
Yeah, at least you can do it 2 times. They probably don't care. But don't keep doing it. You can do it multiple times and send them a request. But if you do it 3 or
No,
5
I mean,
times, no.
this suggestion bar where you have put, Alita Battle Angel in
Yeah, you
3
can do
times.
3
I think that looks kind of troll to them.
I thought the
especially
same
if
thing,
a lot
actually.
of people do that.
Eh,
It
We'll
would look
see.
more legit if you mix Alita Battle Angel either with other movies you would like to see there, or you
Yep.
leave it blank
yeah.
and just
Bingo.
one Alita
Oh,
Battle
leave
Angel.
blank. That's a good idea. Well, I'm not sure if you
Yeah.
can submit a blank one, but I don't know. You can. Yeah. So, I put this little poster together to get people's attention. Of course, these are people's favorite TV shows on Netflix right now.
Yeah.
And we got a good response on that. I hopefully out of that 124, hopefully 61 of you put in requests, and that's gonna get their attention because they probably don't have too many people using that every day.
Yeah.
I still haven't done it.
Yeah, the creek will do it because I've got a Netflix account. So
Made this little meme. I don't know if you guys get it. It's
I'm not sure,
Only
Harold.
manga fans will know.
yeah.
Doesn't really face off the movie, but okay. So yeah, let me stop sharing here. So
That's good.
hopefully you guys all do that. Thanks for who participated.
Yeah. No problem.
At the very least, it'd probably, I guess, maybe make Disney think about it to force their hand, so to speak.
Yeah. Well,
Because they'll
also
either let Netflix
Mhm.
stream it, or they'll oh shit, we don't want Netflix to have the edge over us with one of our own properties. We'll just chuck it on Disney Plus.
yeah. Well, keep in mind, if Netflix is gonna get something to host on their platform for a period of time, they're paying for that. So they're not paying that much, really, to be honest, probably, but they are paying. Disney is going to ask them for some money to do that. And the thing is, if some director in Netflix is contacting Disney to ask about Alita, that reminds those people that Alita's still interested. There are still demand. So those people, are very important. If it's better for Netflix to contact them than us trying to contact Disney. So it looks a lot better, and Disney will take Netflix more seriously than they would take us.
Of course, yeah.
And I do think we should do a hashtag trend, to be honest. I think you guys should think about maybe a date. I was thinking like February 14th, but maybe sooner or later. And we should try to tag Netflix and do a little mass tweet, a few hundred of us possibly, and get their attention. Not too spammy, but just once per person. And maybe make some posters, some, Photoshop edits, and send that over. And we should do the little mass tweet, I think. And do that hashtag release Alita Netflix maybe, or some other hashtag idea. But maybe we could plan on a date for that.
Also, regarding hashtags in general, I think it currently is also we haven't done that for a while already, and there's simply, I think, probably not enough steam right now to do that. Outside of John Lando or Cameron announcing something, or Robert Rodriguez speaking out to us, there's no communication right now. No? So
that's not really the point of.
I understand that it's not the point.
It's just us tagging Netflix.
Yes,
that gets the person
I understand that. I understand that. Yeah. I was just mentioning it because you were bringing up hashtag trends, and we haven't done it for a while. So I interjected at that point, and eventually we'll do another one. But currently, it's just from the side of the creators, it's too silent right now, and it would probably be better if we wait until we see what happens with the Book of Boba Fett, and see if something comes out of that.
That's what
like another post of Rodriguez.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I think February would be a good time.
So you guys don't want the Creek to throw 100 tweets in TweetDeck at him, huh?
No, I think. I would say no more than 12 a person.
I won't do
really
that.
Be spammy.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 person. That's all you need to get their Netflix attention. If you're tagging the 3 main Netflix accounts.
Yeah.
Alita spam is the best spam.
Yeah, it is.
That's it. That's the comment.
Yeah, that's right.
In this show notes, this came up as something to discuss or something along those lines, but apparently the original tweet seems to have been restricted or deleted or whatever the case may be. But reading all the replies, it looks like it was in the context of it was discussing the other reboots in general, or perhaps just the Alita movie itself. In some form of context, because
what it was there was a guy who was complaining, but he was complaining that that the sequel hadn't happened yet, so he sort of turned it on its ear. I didn't take a screenshot, but it's strange that he took it down. Maybe he just the army.
And they yeeted him for that.
No, he may have taken it down because he got too much attention.
Oh, okay.
I see my tweets. It's just spam.
Yeah, because like I said, reading through it, all of it's pretty much a positive response towards Alita. Never heard of it, but it looks, just a little clip looks amazing. Pissed me off too. The movie was awesome. Saw the theaters and pushed it in Blu-ray. I mean, give me 4-figure, give me Joshua Gunn. Personally, I like that part where it's
follow everybody who puts. I basically follow everybody who puts Alita Army somewhere in their bio, and I wasn't following this guy, so he wasn't part of the Alita Army sort of.
I'm blocked. Apparently,
gestalt.
That's probably why. I have no idea. I don't even know who he is.
Damn.
Yeah.
I imagine a lot of these people probably have us blocked.
Yeah, they do.
Fucking Twitter.
Yeah.
Who's that guy?
I have no idea.
I feel like I've seen that. I've seen that name before.
Yeah.
I can't think of when though.
Anyway, I mean, it's if it's promoting Alita in a positive way, then it's water under the bridge as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
Now, another completely random Alita tweet coming out right out of left field. Just going to throw some charge onto the glasses, which is the 3D glasses.
Mm-hmm.
And going to watch Alita Battle Angel again in the way that the gods intended. Amen. Amen, brother.
hell yeah.
And I'm assuming by gods he means James Cameron, Robert Rodriguez, because, I mean, with what we have coming up with the news, you'll see why. But, you know, call us biased, but they really did an awesome job adapting this. I mean, they, as we've always said before, and we'll say it again because it's true as far as we're concerned, but, you know, they adapted the story by still paying homage to the original source material and telling it in their own way as well. And that, I think, striking that fine balance is what most guys don't seem to get.
Yeah.
I mean, even something as...
You should tell that to this YouTuber Vex Viewer. I don't know if you guys saw his video, but he didn't like Alita apparently, but he gave it an F. But he's giving some attention to the movie. 6,000 views on YouTube, so that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, like a random review. I remember that one too.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, John, you sent me that.
That jackass I sent you this morning. Yeah.
But
everybody's allowed their opinion, but that one's wrong.
I don't think he's aware of the manga. It didn't sound like it. So.
Well, similar to what Matvey said, you know, everyone's allowed to have an opinion about Alita. I mean, in that case, it's the wrong opinion, but it's still his own. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely I forget who brought it up, but I'm definitely considering trying to get the what was it? The projector, the 3D projector, and have that set up.
It's probably do not stand by him, jealous, because he has one. He swears by him.
I thought like one of the guys in the that I was DMing at the time. I think it was either Uriel or Challenger ST that was mentioning it. But yeah, it was like around. It was basically around the cost of a new computer system, like around the $2,000 for both the projector and the screen that you sort of can pull down and project onto. But that's for like a more of a top end. You know, the screen is made out of material that reflects well for 3D viewings as well, mind you, as opposed to straight onto like a plastered wall. I mean, I don't know how well. I mean, it still works, but you know, what if you
have my little camping projector, as Bo called it? I'm like, this doesn't look that bad. Yeah, it looks bad. Sorry.
Now, last little piece of good news is that someone on Instagram had an Alita-themed birthday party.
That's cool.
Nice.
Now, I'm going to load this up. It might show... No, it goes straight to it, so maybe we can just quickly press play and...
Yeah, you might want to mute that sound.
Yeah. You'll get
I don't know how to mute it there.
You don't want to get denned.
Yeah.
They won't den us, but they might take that video down if it's.
I don't even know how to fast forward it, but essentially, long story short, I'll pause it anyway, so that way you don't have to worry about the music. She wanted, I think, like an Alita specific movie, or at least like a Disney specific thing, you know, with Alita being one of her favorites. And because he couldn't quite nail the color or the color scheme right, he just went for like a general space or galactic sort of thing, but it still ended up working out well.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is.
And
I remember. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it just highlights the fact that you know, all you need is like the markings under the eyes, and you know that's, you know, you put marking under the eyes of anything, and it's like, oh my god, that looks like Alita.
Yep.
And I'm
That's
not
right.
just talking about that in the context of like with Jinx or Vi or today's topic in general, but I'm talking about anything, like any human face, like digital, real, or hell, you could, I don't know, pick a Ninja Turtle, add blood markings under the eyes, and be like Ninja Alita. You
I mean,
know,
I was never a huge
a
fan
warrior
of
thing.
the
Native-
markings.
Native
Yeah, yeah.
Americans used to do that a lot, and American football they do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I was never a big fan of the markings. Like when I remember on they appear like for a minute in the movie or like a few minutes, and basically have also outside of that doesn't show up. But from a marketing standpoint, that was pretty smart because you see it
Yeah.
like in this birthday, you put the markings on, and everybody thinks Alita. That's now after years, it people still can like instantly recognize that. That's pretty cool.
and you were going to say something, Enigma,
Oh,
if you
I
remember.
think I already said. I'm sorry. I was just saying that it's a Native American tradition to do that, and in American football they still kind of do that as a tradition. So hopefully people correlate that when they see a football game. It's like, I think that reminds me of that movie, and they just subconsciously bring it up.
Well, American Indian tradition, they don't just
Yeah.
paint under your eyes. You
And they
paint,
did all sorts of
yeah,
things.
you paint
Yeah.
all kind of stuff over your face.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Didn't
exactly.
they also air that trailer, one of the huge trailers during a major football game?
Yeah.
There was like something where they tried to combine that thing.
Yeah, that.
Well, there was a
it
Super
just
Bowl
blows me
commercial.
away, rather.
Yeah.
Someday we need to get Alita at a football game. Everybody just shouting her name. Oh, Alita, just randomly at the Super Bowl. Someday, when you get that trilogy, maybe it'll be possible. It'll be so.
Kind of like in the movie when she skates
know.
out, you know, on the
We have to
platform,
do
they're going,
that.
"Oh, Alita." We ought
Yeah,
to
the
do
college
that.
American football
Yeah.
Well,
in Kansas City.
Yeah.
what I'll do is I'll leave the best for last, and I'll quickly skip over to this one. Now, I'm no scientist, so Maxie might have to interject with this one, but apparently the uses for what's called synthetic fibers are, I guess, being discovered or developed or whatever the case may be for beyond just simple clothing as well.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know if it's the same thing, but like, you know, you got carbon fiber or something like that for like car spoilers and bonnets and whatnot. And I think other vehicles as well. It mentions earlier down there, I think synthetic fibers with the ability to withstand extremely high temperatures are braided for China's SpaceX. Wow. So you can use it for parts of like a spaceship construction, maybe, by the sound of it. And like I said, the science just blows me away, even beyond the fact that I just know nothing about it. But
Well,
Yeah,
I only know
no,
a small about this stuff, but material science is one of those things that is like material engineering underpins all the sort of stuff that you want to do. I mean, you look at carbon fiber, carbon nanotubes, and all those sorts of developments that they've been coming up with. And oftentimes, you know, somebody will develop something and then they'll go, well, what the hell can we use this for? And then the research starts going in the direction of, well, what fields can this be useful in? And obviously they're thinking now, artificial muscle and things like that. So you probably see in the next 10 to 15 years, medical field exploding with these new materials that they're coming up with. And the materials are important for a lot of things that have to do with cybernetics, space elevators. They need good, strong, white materials to actually create the space elevator in the first place. That's one of the things that's been holding that idea back. So yeah, I mean,
rocket planes.
Material engineering is the basis of all the things we want to see happen. So they're often overlooked, but the material scientists are good stuff, man.
If I may quickly ask a question, and anyone, whether it be Maxi or anyone else on the panel, a few years back, I had a hernia operation. Long story short, is the not the stomach lining itself, but the cavity, the fleshy cavity that keeps it all together, had like a giant hole in it. So basically, you know, I could like put my finger in there, like dig it all about, or if I ate too much, like it looked like I had like a giant like tennis ball sticking out as a belly button sort of thing. And what that is, that's the actual, like the stomach itself just like popping out.
Well, what a hernia is it's a breach in a membrane. It doesn't matter where it is in the body, but in general, it's a breach in a membrane within the body, which allows the contents that are normally held back by that membrane to come through. You can have a herniated stomach, a herniated groin, a herniated this, a herniated that.
Oh, a herniated groin, that would be horrible.
Fucking hell.
That's the bad one, right? That's the really bad one. But yeah.
With the question I was going to lead into, which leads back into this article, is that when the surgeon explained to me what they were going to do, they said they were going to install some sort of mesh over that hole sort of thing to basically just sort of patch it up, if you will. And I'm guessing that's where this this material science, or like the where the biomedicine comes into play, because you know, like most foreign object that you put into the body, like the body would reject, but you know, I guess somehow you got to, I don't know how you'd put it, but I guess train it or make it in a way where the body doesn't reject it. Otherwise, it'll be like, oh, this is like poison to the system here.
Yeah,
that was really good.
Yeah, Maxie, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's a material that they can use. I know they use them in sutures sometime where they can patch it up with that material, and it over time dissolves and lets your body heal naturally to replace it. So
well, they've had self-removing sutures for quite some time.
Yeah.
I was mugged many years ago now, just outside of where I was living, and I had 6 stitches in my scalp, and I was told they were self-removing sutures, but they weren't. So my skin grew over them. That was not good.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're supposed to. I've never experienced them. I'm supposed to have, but they're supposed to be materials that will eventually be dissolved by the body and be automatically removed in that fashion. But yeah,
this conversation reminds me of a documentary I watched not too long ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, called The Bleeding Edge. Talks about a lot of this stuff. It's on Netflix. You should watch it.
No, Netflix.
We'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
But speaking of Netflix, the saving the best for last. Now, I know that most of us are, if not, how the fuck do I get rid of this? No, thank you. Go away. Go away.
Yeah.
I know, like, quite a lot of us are just big fans of Rodriguez. And I know some of the arguments for haters are going to be, oh, you only like it because of Alita, blah, 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 blah. But this list, I feel like, highlights why we like him. And this is
I don't like most of his content, to be honest.
I don't either. I do like Spy Kids, though. Spy Kids is the shit. I love it.
See, this is where, and of course, it's going to be a healthy thing. But for me, Spy Kids didn't float my boat. But you know, kids' movies never really. Well, they went, out of date when I stopped being a kid. But
true.
It goes like from the El Mariachi right up until Once Upon a Time Mexico. It's got Dust Till Dawn in there, Planet Terror, the Machete movies. One of my personal favorites, because I am a bit of a horror buff, is The Faculty.
Yes.
Even I wouldn't say that's a great movie, by any stretch, but it's one of my guilty pleasures anyway. You know, if I just want to waste a couple of hours watching a horror movie and be entertained by it, then, you know, that's going to be one that's always going to be a choice of mine. There's Spy Kids. You got Sin City as well, so that's obviously another popular one, and another comic book adaptation as well.
Then you got that outlier right there.
Yeah.
Yep. The creme
de la creme.
The magnum opus, as Bloody likes to call it.
That's a $100 million budget movie.
And yeah, that's the only point with Bloody that I will disagree on. Alita Battle Angel is not his magnum opus because the sequels will be.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, you know, I could tick most of these boxes off. With the exception of Alita, I probably wouldn't rewatch over and over and over again, like repeatedly. Like I said, Alita, I would. But I mean, there's still movies that I've watched more than once. Like even El Mariachi, way back in the day, I've seen, I think 2 or 3 times. But I think that's after Once Upon a Time in Mexico. I had that effect of going back to the beginning again, thinking, oh wait, he did this movie as well. Oh, I wonder what that's like. And
a lot of the ingredients we like in Alita you can see in his previous movies as well, especially Sin City. But yeah, it's a collaboration with Cameron and that team, that environment that puts in a complete new direction. And that's it's a mix, you know. It's not just Rodriguez's handwriting; it's everybody's handwriting what makes that movie special.
Well, this is the last news object, so this obviously will be. I'm going to use this as a segue into the main topic. But
well, wait, we got one more. We got one more news thing to do there, Angels.
Oh, let's get into Jinx.
We do indeed.
Yeah.
But I mean, even using Arcane as an example, you know, there's a lot of ingredients, as Fox said, and you know, only reason why I harp on about anything other than Arcane is just, you know, everyone has their own likes, but much like with Spy Kids, for example. But I mean, there's a lot of aspects, I guess, across the board, like different characters, different. Well, I'd be spoiling the main topic here, but yeah, just across the board, there's a lot of ingredients in Arcane that run parallel with a lot of the ingredients in the Alita, and that's why I guess a lot of us are drawn to that sort of content. So, I mean, it's not just the aesthetic value, like, you know, like being able to put the blood markings under Jinx's eyes, or
I didn't even realize that until I rewatched a scene on that. Like,
was there a scene with blood markings on?
Yeah,
when she's fighting
it was
Echo?
very brief.
Echo, I think, right?
Echo.
I liked that even the first time.
Echo, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Echo himself has them. But
He has the
Echo
hourglass.
has some white marks
Well,
under his eyes.
It's when it flashes over to her as a child and she has the little pink markings under her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll keep that to the main topic, and we do have others, but hang on, I'll stop that.
Okay, and the Creek is going to show something that Maxie knows I'm going to want to show.
He's playing the game. He's playing the game.
Yeah.
Oh.
So anyway, there's you know, once again, just to show everybody how to do this, you type in Alita Battle Angel in the search engine, then you click on filters, you hit this week, and then you click on filters again, then hit upload date, and you click on upload date. Come on now. It's not letting me do it.
Click on somewhere else and then do it again.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess I can reload it too, can't I?
Or just do today. Yeah.
Now let's do it again.
It moved down 2 spots.
Yeah, well, no, that's okay. It's not, that's weird. Okay, that is weird. Why is it doing that?
Dethroned.
Yeah. There we go.
I click on relevance, so somewhere
No,
else.
relevance. No, we don't click on relevance because you
Yeah.
don't want the algorithm to tell
I
you
know,
what to
I know.
watch. So, but
I know,
anyway,
but you can click on relevance and then you go back and then you should have the
oh, I see.
sorted
Yeah.
list.
Oh,
Yeah. So
okay, I got you. Yeah. Oh,
try
so,
that.
yeah.
Oh wait, it just loaded up something.
There you go. Oh, I guess
Okay,
it was. It just okay.
It's in the third place. Yeah.
Damn,
So,
these guys are getting ahead of me here. I'm going to have to do something about that. But anyway, the real thing here, the real thing is if you want to see the latest Alita video uploads, that's the way you can do it. Where you can get everything that was loaded since the last week. And as you can see, there is a lot of content out there.
right.
Be mindful of these full movies. We say this every week, but they got links in them that'll take you to websites you don't want to be at. So anyway,
If they do that 3 times, their whole channel will be taken down.
yeah, that's exactly right.
And there's an algorithm that will do that.
But you can see there is a ton of content. And there's our stream from yesterday. We had KAOS on that stream yesterday too, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, we did. So anyway, but you can see lots of content.
Kind of miscellaneous, so just
Yeah.
popping and nothing too deep.
Yeah. There's the fight between Alita and Zapan and, good stuff, So you want a lot of those full movie things. Stay away from those. They're bad news. So
I hate it when those drop right when the movie comes out.
Yeah. Do check out the Vex Viewers video. I mean, he does have some interesting points that makes you think as a Alita fan, like, yeah, he's kind of right about a few things, but he's trying to be critical. I think that's the point of his channel, though. Like, I think he likes it, but I think he's trying to be critical. That's the style.
Are you talking about the guy that?
I don't think he sincerely dislikes Alita. I think
who is that in it? Who's that in it?
Oh, you remember John? Vex?
Vex.
Fuck, I'd have to look.
Vex Viewer. He's an
Okay,
American YouTuber, I think.
Yeah, that's the guy
Alita
that was.
Battle Angel is bad.
Oh, bad
But,
news.
but judging by the comments, I think there's a lot of people who liked it.
There's that Creaky.
Oh, yeah.
Another video from Creaky. I wonder how that got in there. Anyway, more stuff,
Same reason why haters say it, just like whether they just want to get a rise for clicks or
here
they
we
just
are.
want the attention.
I think he just didn't really understand a lot of what he was watching. When he's one of the things that he said I found interesting. No, some of it should have been obvious. Like, why did she react to Doc Ito the way that she did, being all warm and whatnot? And then when Sharon approaches her, I'm like, this is obvious shit, man. I'm autistic, and I'm not that bad at social cues. Come on,
He was trying to find. It was clear that he was trying to find something that maybe it didn't make logical sense. But it's like you got to think about the context of that situation, and in reality, the manga spans over a year, and that's after when Hugo dies. So the movie's trying to cram all that. So
when you look for it, you're gonna find it. And that's exactly what was going on there.
Well,
you can apply that to any movie.
Well, some of these folks too, they think they're being cool by just doing something negative, and they put it out there, So
I'm sure there's things in Arcane people can try to nitpick and say, "Oh, it's not as great as people are saying," but
this
is great.
thing is also a thing among those movie reviewers, because sometimes they kind of play obtuse and pick like such small things out because it generates participation, because people are like, actually, and that boosts their videos. That boosts their videos. They do that on purpose.
They need extra content to get attention.
There's that Prime 1 Studio Galley statue. The Creek is strongly leaning toward getting that.
Yeah.
Do it.
Buyer's fucking remorse.
Fox is really hitting the nail on the head here, because I was thinking like exactly the same thing, because like using the Ida versus Shirin example that Vexed dude used at the beginning of his video, you've got, technically they're both strangers to a leader at the time, but you've got what appears to be a doctor who comes across like at first viewing like as exactly that, like a doctor. He like caresses, if you want to call it that, Alita as a doctor would, as if they were just examining the patient.
Yeah.
Whereas you
He
got
was trying to be
Shred,
funny about it, yeah.
A complete
And he's very
random on the
soft spoken
street.
too.
Yeah. And then Shrin comes along, it's like, hey,
Like,
kid.
hey, kid. Yeah.
Picks up the arm, and it's like all of a sudden, like, who cares about the face? I'm just looking this arm. And she goes, what's your problem? Like, I mean, it's like what John said. It's like, you know, I can see it. And it just boggles my mind.
Yeah.
If I'm picking up on it, you know it's bad.
Well, there's a video from Dan right there. He's got on his first channel. That
Yes, sir.
Is the Alita Army. Yeah, I highly recommend that damn thing. It is really, it's got some
That video was so
That's what
funny.
motivated me to do Netflix. Like, push that out. Seriously, I'm like, I'm gonna do something.
Oh, the constlers.
He man, he he really got me when the American shot himself in the foot. About died.
Yeah, that was funny. Well, you think that's funny? I like being the 8,000-year-old power lifter.
Yep. And then there's Cran dancing to her music. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
And it's even got something for Fox as well. It's got the German. Like the angry German kid sort of.
Where is that, Fox?
I forgot about the angry German. Holy shit!
Yeah,
Fox, is that on? Foxfire, is that on here somewhere? Did I go past it too fast? Where is that?
The dance video or what?
Was he referencing Foxfire or Dennis then? Because I think he might have been referencing Dennis.
Oh, maybe both.
Okay, all right. Well,
they're both in Germany.
In general, what I want to just highlight about Dan, what I really like about his style is video. He's like the king of shit posting. Like, in this channel, no one even comes even close to him. So
yeah, I like Dan's videos. They're great. Now I've got 2 of his videos saved on my channel because I love.
If you wouldn't need like a bazillion years to get a video out, you would be so large with this channel already. I tell you.
Yeah, if you could get his production queue smooth, it would be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he'd probably been used about 3 times by now.
Yeah.
Well, given how YouTube has been, and now even now still acting, it doesn't help.
He's gun shy, isn't he?
I mean, he just needs to tiptoe in the right perspective. I mean, there are content creators out there who are doing like not crazy stuff, but they're not. They're even more daring in some aspects, and they are getting away with it. Maybe with their thumbnails or with some specific contents. And he was just like really unlucky at that time. Somebody reported him. He got taken down. Sometimes you simply you get the wrong guy at the end, and he's like, "Oh, I'm reading you out of existence," and you're done. You can't do anything. But most times you're getting away with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know. I put copyright stuff on mine all the time, but I only do it with the folks that own the content allow me to do it. If I upload a video and it says, "Hey, no, this is copyright. Nobody's going to see your video," I delete it immediately. So I think that's the trick. So.
Yeah, for his part, it was not something copyrighted, but something like it was a little bit too erotic, you could say. But he blurred it even out, so you couldn't even see what happened. And what is even worse is it was just a little fragment from another video on YouTube with 2 million views, where it wasn't censored, and that video is still up, and his channel got taken down for a fragment.
Yeah.
That was what was crazy.
I say creators loosely on that platform, or we're talking on YouTube, so this platform that have shown way worse stuff and get paid for it than anything he's put in his videos.
Yes.
From music videos to God knows what else.
Yeah. Well, anyway, just to review how you do this, everybody watching, you click on this, you click on last week, then you click on upload date. So, and then you'll get all the videos. So.
Or you just subscribe to Creaky, and then you find it faster.
Okay.
Everyone listening should be subscribed to Creaky and
that's
Foxfire
right.
and Enigma Seeker.
Enigma Seeker, absolutely.
Support your
And
creators.
Foxfire. Yeah.
I did
I'm
say
doing
Foxfire.
Genshin content.
Oh, I didn't
so
say
I'm
Den
not
though. Oops.
I'm not plugging my stuff because I'm doing Genshin content. It has nothing to
Okay.
do with it. But I have some Alita videos still on my account. Check it out.
I'll have one
Yes.
coming
Yes.
out in February.
Yeah, I don't want to embarrass Enigma too much, but I like some of his videos too. I mean, it makes you think, you know, and that's kind of a cool thing, you know. So
Yeah,
anyway,
Alita's the Enigma.
yeah, that's right.
Seriously.
That's right.
Really?
Yeah, but you do other stuff other than Alita,
Oh
though.
yeah.
You know, like
Actually, I don't know if you guys saw Joe Rogan's latest video with Jimmy from Bright Insight, that big YouTuber does Atlantis and stuff. I might be doing something, but we'll see
yeah,
if I get his attention.
yeah.
Is that regarding your news that I see highlighted in red here? Or is that a different topic altogether?
I'm not sure.
Or does that
on-
have to
on
do
my
with
channel?
the hashtag event? No, on
No,
the show
no,
notes.
no, no. This is something to do with Atlantis. I'm thinking about seriously writing a book about it. James Cameron might read my book someday if he stays.
Well,
alive by the
that
time I get
that
the
and
book out.
that and kind of you know, strange phenomena in a forest. I think that white light
That's fun.
thing that was going through there, that was kind of fun to watch, and you know, stuff like that. So he's got that stuff in there in addition to Alita. So anyway,
Yeah,
Creaky.
we should get into
Put it
Jinx
there.
and Arcane. There we go.
Oh boy.
Similarities right there.
yep.
Creaky, check the Twitter DM. I while the news was going, I did up another little image for you to use as a background.
Okay, let me get on to that. And that stupid computer is not letting me. Okay, there it is. So we'll do that one. Let me just show the. I'm going to share that too. So let me just remove this.
I'm usually so busy hosting that I don't have time
yeah.
to fiddle.
Oh yeah,
It's nice.
yeah.
Good job, Angelus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's that guy. You know, to me, Jinx, I've only seen some of the Arcane stuff, clips. I haven't. I'm gonna start watching that too, along with all the stuff Maxie wants me to do. But but it seems to me she's kind of a cross between Alita and Harley Quinn. That's kind of what strikes me.
There is some truth to that.
Kinda.
Other YouTubers said that there actually is some scenes from, I think, Suicide Squad that is referenced in Arcane.
Yeah.
Jinx.
That wouldn't surprise
They
me.
were inspired by Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
She
But
more
there
or
is
less
a
started
difference in
off as
relationship, though. Like, whereas like Silco and Jinx, they actually have a strong relationship. Where in the Joker, that's an abusive relationship. So it's a little bit different, actually.
very
Kinda.
different.
Stuff is created in a vacuum, and when people like a particular property, other properties will borrow from them to create a link, and that's how you draw other fandoms into your new property.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
Silco kinda uses Jinx too, but he has some genuine love.
Yeah, he did
for her
at
as well.
first, but then he started to change.
Mm-hmm.
Because he kind of represents a little bit kind of connection with Hugo a little bit. He wanted to kind of rid the Pilt over, and change the system sort of, and wanted to get up there and mess them up. Actually,
I think he just wanted to live there.
He wanted to make a whole separate nation.
Yeah, and with Silco's motivation is clearly he wants to upset. He might even be willing to go so far to destroy the whole upper city just to show it to them, But in general, he wants a better life for the people of Dawn, and so in this case, he's quite different from Hugo, who is only interested to save himself.
Yeah.
So
He's more of a leader.
other
Yeah,
people.
not Hugo is not.
A smart one too.
But what they have in common is both are physically weak, both need people to help them, and they have to be smart, as you said, and be able to get followers, like who are stronger and who can be his muscles. Exactly that he accomplished.
The tragedy with Jinx, I think, is actually stronger than Alita, it seems. Whereas Alita seems like just her infatuation, she just was loving Hugo, but not just Hugo, but Ito and everybody. But it was sort of irrational infatuation, whereas Jinx had a reason, sort of. She lost two fathers, basically.
Yeah.
So
Before we
then
go too
some.
much further, because Angelus hasn't said it yet, spoiler warning.
oh,
If
sorry.
you haven't
Oh,
watched
yeah.
Arcane already,
Bit late
I
for
still
that.
haven't watched it.
spoiler. Sorry, you should have watched it. You had plenty
What
of
is that, maybe
notes.
60
I managed
bucks
to
on here,
watch it.
so-
You didn't manage to watch it too. There you go.
Who hasn't seen it yet? I'm curious.
The
there
Creek.
was, Vladdy
has
hasn't
not.
seen it.
Fuck.
Okay.
I feel
The
bad.
Creek-
There's so
The Creek's
much
too
shit
busy
that I want to
making his
say.
own videos.
Yeah.
What was that, Maxie?
The Creaky's too busy making his own videos to watch other people's content.
Oh, called out.
Oh boy, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's right. He's right.
Or read other people's content.
No,
Hey,
you
man.
saw my private chat, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
when are you gonna get your fanfic on YouTube? Then I'll read it.
yeah.
You'll read
read
it
it
in
for me.
inverted commas. In inverted
He'll read it and
commas.
he'll read it with his ears.
He'll listen
Yeah.
to me reading it. That's what he'll do. All right, Enigma, I'll read your bedtime story for Christmas.
Little
He
podcast.
sends him a little flip book. We'll put it in your
Yeah, put
stocking,
some
sir.
pictures in there.
Well,
That
one
would be
thing
kind of cool,
that,
actually.
it shares, and from a few other like news articles and tweets that I've seen around, it seems to be like a common sci-fi trope, or even just a common cyberpunk trope, is the whole upper class versus lower class.
Yes.
In this case, you've got Iron Cities and the Lanes, which I believe ends up wanting to become called Zorn. And then you've got Zalem, which is Piltover.
Mhm. But I think I would say Piltover is not as evil, maybe, as what's happening in Zalem.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
The reader doesn't find out
Based off the
till
manga.
the reader doesn't find out till much later, but
Mhm.
the people themselves aren't evil either up in
Yeah,
Zalem.
they're trying to make it pretty great.
Right. I mean, the leadership. You could argue go more into the leadership. That is a difference between Piltover and Zalem. While Zalem's leadership, as of the moment, we know only Nova reigns there, and he's clearly portrayed as evil. While Piltover's leadership is not actually evil at all. They try to manage the city, bring it to prosperity, and Zorn is kind of their problem child. They don't really
Yep.
want to invest too much energy in it, and they just don't want trouble, but they're also not going out
They
of their way to
want it,
destroy
yeah.
them. So yeah, so
Right. They explored a lot of that really well with Caitlyn. I thought her commentary on how things are being so poorly treated. It's funny. I hate. This is going to be a little bit of a, maybe not a hot take, but I think I know that the movie was going for a completely different theme. They weren't trying to make it all dark like Blade Runner, the Alita movie. Sorry, but I think that this show, some of what they showed in there with the Undercity, the people at the very bottom.
Yeah.
I can only imagine. It got me thinking, if they were to do a series, man, like they could really. That's about how I would imagine it in Scrap Iron City. Would be a lot like what you saw in there. It's kind of almost horror-ish in a way.
The biggest critique point to Alita is that even the commoners have it basically too good. They have a bright, sunny city. They seem to be well nourished. There are no really dark, or at least a daylight. There are no bad places in that city. Like you could say in Arcane, they emphasized how people are living poorly in Zorn. You could say a bit better, or at least that was their emphasis. While in Alita, it was probably not the main emphasis to show the dirtiest of the dirt, but
True.
Just to hint that there are problems. So,
Right. I just said between the two, I know where I'd prefer to live. I'll take Iron City. Yes.
Iron City is livable. Just stay out of the nighttime. Stay in your home so that you don't run into the murder people,
like
and you're
Mexico
fine.
City or something.
Yeah.
The murder people. I love that.
So
Hey,
you
Dad,
have
I
a
wanted
good
to
room to
murder
live there.
people.
There is another interesting connection with the character between Silco and Jinx, which is a little weird, kind of I don't know, like sort of sexual kind of reference, like attachment, but it's just slight. And other YouTubers notice this, and the same thing in the manga with Ido, kind of like looking at Alita objectively. There's a little bit of that.
Oh, I think I know what you're
I
talking about.
noticed those too. This YouTuber was bringing that up. I'm like, they were trying to imply there's something more, just kind of like with Harley Quinn, but in this case, more like a weird adopted daughter kind of situation.
I think I know what scene you're talking about. I can see why.
Slight. Yeah, the way she
Are you
sits.
talking about the chair?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then
I saw
Silco's
some
kind of
comments
freaked
about
out by
that.
her, so he's like, this is a freaky daughter.
Well, she moves around, and she moves around, and the way she interacts like a child. She may be pretty much in the body of an adult, but she, for the most part, still has that childlike mentality to a point. So I mean, she's over here jumping around and hopping. I mean, how many kids are jumping on their parents? It looks weird because she's an adult, but
she doesn't even seem to have any kind of romantic interest in any person. She's
nobody.
She's like completely
I think
in her mind. She's like a 6-year-old. Like a hurt 6-year-old, like somebody who's gone really bad hurt, but she's like stuck in that age. While when you see like Vi and Caitlyn, there's something going on. They pretty much behave like adults.
There was a kind of Echo though. I think Echo did kind of have like feelings for Jinx.
Yep.
Jinx did too, but she couldn't take it. She just like, no, go away. Like, she just couldn't take it anymore.
What's sad because that bit right there. Sorry, go ahead. I cut you off.
Yeah, I guess he kind of pretty much just gave up on her. Whereas, Vi, it's just amazing that she's like, I'm not gonna give up on her yet, but
Jinx is very broken and has been for quite some time.
Probably Vi will never completely give up on her, so that's not the impression she's giving you. But she will treat her differently as Jinx.
Again, this makes me question why people say Jinx is so much like Alita, because there's an aspect that Vi has. Because Vi, like you said, Vi never gives up on Alita. And Alita, Vi never gives up on Powder, I should say. And Alita didn't really give up on Hugo even after discovering the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Still had that.
She's a lot more solid in her convictions. I think you said that, Peter.
Yeah, I definitely noticed. I'm like, whoa, I think this is the character that symbolizes Alita more, actually. Jinx is just freaking crazy.
I made the reference to her being sort of like Jinx in the sense that... Go ahead.
Sorry, Jinx is actually more like... sorry, the name
Erica.
Erica, yes. It's more like Erica, man.
Fucking hiding behind Caitlyn in the shower. She's always creeping.
I didn't even notice that
creeping.
And there's a bit of role reversal as well, because back when they were young, she was playing the older sister in Vi. And then now the roles are reversed in the sense that Erica has morphed into what Jinx is now, and then Alita's basically switched places and taken the part of, I know, my best friend is the way she is because of the arm hajar or whatever they're called, and Vi's very much the same. It's only because of the strong influence that Silco had over Powder that she's the way she is.
It's not just Silco. She really did just want to have like a revenge against Vi, sort of. I don't know, just like that betrayal, sort of like.
At the beginning, I would say. When she was freshly hurt, and she thought like Vi has just abandoned her and treated her like trash. And at the moment, at that time, she believed that. But later on, she found out the truth, so that she was still alive and all that stuff. And that changed her perspective, and she even tried to seek out for Vi, So
oh man, there's so much I wanted to respond to in that. Damn it, I had a thought, but you're 100% on that, because she does go after her, and you can almost tell that. Yeah, she probably hated Vi for that. And honestly, it's probably why I want to see what happened during that time jump, or what happened in between, because it's 10 years, I think, a decade, not knowing.
Yeah,
that's another similar to Alita. Nice little 10-year time skip.
Yeah.
But not that I'm saying that's why that's there.
With
But
Alita and Erica, it's kind of similar. They split as kids. They got separated.
I'm gonna
They meet
Yes.
again as adults.
Hmm.
So that's also fun.
I'm gonna steal from another movie here in the sense that the time skip is very briefly touched on in the introductory scenes of the two sisters, because as I mentioned in stealing from another movie, in the it slipped my mind, Count of Monte Cristo, he was sent to prison for like God knows how many years before he managed to escape, and they spent like 20 minutes of his training montage on how he learned from the person in the cell beside him, and how he got the riches to develop his persona. And then that part is explained in the movie, but in the series, I guess it takes for granted that it thinks that the audience is going to retcon most of it in. Like you see, whatever that henchman that got the living bejesus beat out of him by Vi. When Caitlin comes down to figure out why was he put into hospital, and it's because of this chick right here, and it turns out to be Vi. It's like, holy shit. Well, I guess we know what she's been doing for the past 10 years.
Right.
In prison.
Punching walls and shit.
You see a slightly longer introduction per se with Powder/Jinx, in the fact that she's basically been Silco's errand girl, turned 3 IC, I should say, because obviously he did have an official 2 IC at the time.
He absolutely did manipulate her, especially early on. But you could.
Rocks and all that stuff.
Lost you, John.
I think when John gets back, I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say, because he saw the value in having, I'll call her Jinx. I'll differentiate between the two personalities. But yeah, in having Jinx around, he saw the value in that, and that's why he cared about it. Like, he probably still cared about the person too. I'll give him that much, but I mean, she was never exclusively a means to an end. Jinx always meant something more than a simple means to an end to achieve what he wanted.
I would contradict slightly that. I would say that Jinx, especially as a kid in the beginning, he didn't take her in because he saw use in her. It was just a kid she was the most useless thing to him at that time. But he took her in because she reminded him of his own situation with the other guy, who
Vander,
him. And with Vander, he got betrayed, and Jinx made that similar. At the moment where he understood what she made, that's where his strings got pulled, and he took her in for that. And otherwise, he wouldn't have bothered with a kid, crying on the streets.
He was ready to kill her, frankly.
Right, yes. And he pulled back because of that insight he got in that last second.
I can't help that she disarmed him with a hug.
It almost seems like Jinx already
was
had a disability. Like, Alita sort of had a disability. Well, I don't know. The fact that she's a cyborg is not really a disability, I guess. But Jinx definitely had a mental disability. It seemed like that she just instantly went to Silco in that trauma period.
That's happens a lot. With one of the things that impressed me with this show tremendously is how they portray trauma, especially in kids. I've seen, not just because of me, but people that I've known who have not responsible for killing their family, but just in general, bad shit happening to them.
Yes.
And the way they portrayed it.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, he's gone again.
Jinx by name, Jinx by name.
I got Jinx.
With this video. But I was just...
He got jinxed.
Yeah, you got Jinx, man.
I have a hot take. Caitlyn is best girl. Fight me.
Vi, I'm sorry.
Caitlyn.
I think I'm more in.
Vi's a handsome woman.
Caitlyn is great, man. And, she still got some, good physique and all that stuff. But she's still hot, And even Vi had to admit that, she's a hot cupcake, But but Vi, character-wise, I think I like her.
Holy hell, this is getting annoying.
And just the one thing I want to mention is like that one scene, like where we speak about trauma, is where Jinx was having like a tantrum sort of thing, where she was like crying her soul out. That was so, that hit like a truck, that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Can you all hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Good.
But we don't know for how long.
Well, I know what it was. I was trying to open up some the gallery on my phone, and every time I switched apps, apparently it would shut down the stream. But I could still hear you guys. It's weird. I don't know why that.
You don't switch apps.
Here's another connection with the story. I mean, it's not really a good connection. I mean, it's not just because I was thinking Mel and Vector, but not just because of the characteristics that they're both black, but in the sense that they both have a superiority kind of position. Connection with. I don't know. That might not be a good connection. I'm trying to think if there's other.
I'd feel she'd probably got.
She's more fleshed out than Vector in the movie.
Anything.
I missed part of the conversation, so I don't know where we are.
I'm just trying to think about her connections with Alita.
Oh. Said that Caitlyn is a hottie, a cupcake, and and we touched also. I just said that.
Well, if we're like and it doesn't matter because it's Radio Chaos, but it seems like we're addressing the character traits here, and if we wanted to continue on that train of thought, Arcane has its own Doc Eater. Just saying.
Who's that?
You mean I'm not Jace. Jace is not
Jace.
He's got the hammer though.
Maybe Victor.
He's got.
You
got a bit of Jace. You got a
maybe?
bit of Victor. Maybe even. Oh, actually, I wouldn't say Heimerdinger, but yeah, definitely Jace or Victor, or a combination of both.
Yeah, both. If you put them together.
I'd say young Ito would be closer, probably, but yeah.
Well, but Victor is more like morally ambiguous, you could say.
Yeah. We're losing you.
He had some limits in the past as a kid. As in his adult version, the more he grows as a character, the less moral, qualms he has to do what he does. While Jace is still like, I want progress, but not too much at once. So like.
Jace seemed to change more than Victor. Well, I guess
agree.
in League of Legends, he changes a lot. Victor does.
Well, something that Enigma say, and I'll swing it back to him in just a second, is like I said, Mel has a lot of traits, or rather, a lot of her traits. Some of them can be paralleled with Chirin, because at the beginning. We know that Mel was came across as using.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
Not just Jace, but the council in general. Just to further her own goals. Like she had her own issues with her past as well.
Yeah.
I'll let the chat sort of watch Arcane and sort of discover it that way. We don't need to get into it too much. But in the end, she ends up warming up to Jace and his take on things.
Quite literally.
And you could say...
Sorry. Parking her boots under his bed, you mean?
Like she is like manipulating the heck out of everybody. I mean, she's not like a mother. Like a mother is the sly fox, and she's a ruthless killer. But she is just a sly fox part, and she's not like going as far as a mother to reach her goals, but she has still a lot from her, even if she would never acknowledge that. But
maybe
where she's coming from.
Yeah, maybe her mother could be similar to Gelda. Nah.
Yeah, Gelda is
That's a stretch.
too kind. Gelda compared
but
to
she's kind of ruthless, I think, in her mission.
She can be a ruthless killer, but she wouldn't like take the head of a kid, in my opinion. Like Gelda would like maybe stop for kids, but you know
I
that
don't know,
woman
I
is
don't
like,
know.
if I don't kill her, she will come back.
Take that out of
bring
her.
the
I
whole
really
army
hated
with
her.
her. You know,
Hmm.
I had completely
like-
forgotten she was even in this damn show.
She's a
Yeah,
big
but
lady.
Mask Chronicles is a lot more brutal, and we didn't see Gelda do this kind of stuff that woman did. You know, so
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where you've got Mel.
There's a few more of the characters in that image.
Yeah, like Echo.
I mean, Echo didn't have too much.
I feel like he might have more of a role later.
He will play more
Yeah.
a role,
Oh,
but I wish he had.
He could be the one that sort of changes Jinx a little bit, I think.
I
They might build
was
something
thinking
there.
the same damn thing. If there's anyone that's going
Instead
to
of
do it, it's
Vi.
probably going to be him.
Yeah, because he'll actually
Aesthetic.
fight with her more, I think. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't really know
definitely
League of
that's,
Legends.
has definitely an interesting connection to her.
Mhm.
Like she still remembered about him, and that battle they had in the end. Not in the end, but later on, it was really epic, and you could feel how they are still like connected on a
Mhm.
level.
He still saw powder there, and that scene hit a little hard too, because it's like,
Yeah,
damn,
I like that scene.
you know that, and she was just ready to just go right then and there. Like, hey, if I'm gonna, you know,
I'm
this
gonna
is it.
die,
If
then
this is
the
it, I want
moment.
to go with
Yeah.
my friend. And she
Yeah,
just
she
fully
was.
accepted it.
Yeah, she was.
Now, by all means, correct me because you guys have got better insight than I do. But while aesthetically, bleh, finally got it out. Jace can be linked to Ida with his hammer. There's a lot of fatherly traits that Vanda has that he shares with Ito. I mean, obviously Ito cares about Iron City in general, hence his free repairs, and you know Vanda's got his cancer spa.
Yeah.
And
that's such a good character.
and you know, like he cares for different reasons, and probably like he runs a lot more deeper for Vanda than it would for Ito, but he cares for Vi and Powder just as Alita, just as Ito cares for Alita. So there's that correlation there as well.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And he holds together the whole city, you know. And when he was gone, even 10 years later, you could feel that the presence of his was missing, you know. So yeah, I really like that character.
Mm-hmm. Also, in the world building, they kind of have like a MacGuffin, you know, the stone, which is, you know, inspired by the Philosopher's Stone legends, things like that. And there's a connection a little bit maybe with, I don't know if Alito, isn't there some reference to some kind of chip or something? Not in the head, the Ouroboros something? Oh, I forgot. It looks like a diamond.
You mean I know what you mean.
The last order, the actual last order.
Mean the the Fata Morgana,
yeah,
the
that's
Fata
it.
Morgana. Yeah.
So maybe I don't know too much about that in the manga.
I think
that.
like that's the last character trait I can think of before I throw it over to you guys and move on to the next point. But I think Hextech in general would be the biochip because I mean when they do develop Hextech as an alternative source of power or enhancement or whatever the case may be, you slot it into a hammer or a pair of gauntlets or
Thanos.
A Gatling gun,
right.
and it enhances it. And like with the biochip, it's meant to quite literally replace the brain, which is the the center of the central nervous system, sort of thing.
I feel more reminded
in a manner of speaking.
The core of Alita with the energy core and the matter reactor. That's where I get remembered of. What in general where we are talking about styles and aesthetics, what is so interesting about Arcane is they have all this kind of outlandish technologies, but since they are combining it in a steampunk motive, you have still the futuristic stuff, but on the other hand you have also something like old school relatable, with the design, this 1920s design of the glorious days of the United States, where you have this Art Deco style. That's something
it's very French, I think.
Yeah, and
what's made by French studio.
French and American,
very popular in the United States in the 1920s. You know, and when you look in New York with the Art Deco style, it was very prominent. You know, and promising of a brighter future, a brighter tomorrow, with all these skyscrapers and all that stuff, and they really put that style very well into Arcane, and combine it with this futuristic stuff, and that's what I really like, and it's a kind of close relative to as a cyberpunk movie, because cyberpunk and steampunk are very close relatives. Yeah, so
sister genres, I guess, right?
It's almost clockwork punk in a lot of ways as well, because a lot of what they had before Hextech came along was clockwork. The little flying insects and stuff all ran on sort of wind up, and Jinx's little explodey bomb things all ran on wind up. So I think that derivation is called clockwork punk.
Reminded me of
punk,
the doll body a little bit.
Yeah. And one other thing I will mention before you rush off into another point is have a look at all these characters. Which one has the biggest eyes?
It's Jinx.
I'll just leave that one there.
Yeah. The show
kind of weird because
more,
usually those characters that are naive gets the biggest eyes.
Yeah.
But in League of Legends, the designs there, they do make the eyes bigger. Like everybody though, it's not Arcane is very specific to.
Yeah,
Jinx,
I think it has.
But in League of Legends, you notice the eyes are kind of bigger.
What you have to do is because the character models are also, and so the face it's probably not very proportionate. But I would have to look on the splash arts if the eyes are bigger there as well or not. I don't remember that well. But here in this case, that is very. They did it on purpose. Jinx's eyes so big. It's for me, it's a contradiction because on one side, it shows naivety and a kind of pure soul, but she is everything but a pure soul. So very interesting,
Well, the next point, and I'm thinking this is the fun part that we can just almost, brainstorm, is, and we've slightly touched on this already, but the aesthetics comparison. Now, I know that, put some markings under the eyes, and young powder is basically chibi Alita. And, Jace does have that look of Doc Edo when he's got his hammer around. But do you guys have any other perhaps personal favorites when it comes to aesthetics?
The coloring, kind of. If you look at the coloring, there's a lot of gold and kind of yellowish tones. In Salt or Iron City, you kind of see that too a little bit. The scrapyard. There's those tones of colors are kind of similar, but not always. Every scene kind of changes, but I've noticed that. Even in the image right here with Chase and Mel, that kind of gold's kind of tone.
I noticed that it got dark.
Do you see my screen on right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
very gothic.
I have opened up that thing. I mean, this kind of stuff, with the city. While you're talking about the city, I had also some pictures put up, and here that's what you mean with the golden looks and stuff. And I have also here pics down, and if you look at Zorn's pics, it kind of reminds you of the artwork of Alita Battle Angels.
Definitely.
City, so pretty close to that. Yeah.
One thing we haven't brought up is Silco. He reminds me a lot of Vector in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
True. Very true. Actually,
he is also a fixer, you could say. So it's a type of guy.
Determined to be the king of hell rather than a servant in heaven kind of deal.
Silco is exactly that type. Yeah, I mean,
not only that, he made a deal with the devil, or in this case, his version of Nova, which is the council, to officially recognize Zorn.
Yeah, and they are kind of having the similar position. Like Vector is at the top of Iron City, and he's the top of Dawn. There have maybe some changes in leadership or differences, you could say, but the Vectors are more like the clean neat guy with the suits and stuff. And I think sure, they have a lot of things in common, definitely. So interesting that we didn't brought it up sooner.
Yeah, in the Undercity area, there's a lot of like the aesthetics with the pipes and drains and that very kind of industrial look. You see that connection with Iron City too.
It's funny that their old home looks like as if it was an old cathedral or some kind with this glass stuff, There's also in Alita a cathedral that plays a specific role, like a sanctuary stuff, and for them, this home that was a home for years, and the sanctuary before it was like teared down by the enforcers from Piltover.
Also, the brightness of the characters from Piltover and the city in general could also be referenced by the fact that it is the upper city, so it'd be closer to the sun.
Yeah,
It would have like a
darker
lot more
skin,
brighter aesthetic.
and Jinx is very almost albino-like, and that's intentional to be like she hasn't seen the sunlight in years, or she stays away from it. There's some symbolic reference to that.
Indeed, that kind of remembers me of the Motorworld Stadium. I know there's this big light. It has some kind of arcade stuff, but it's there. It looks like the bar, I think. Yeah, what they have.
And that's something that you will find in steampunk or cyberpunk or any sort of sci-fi genre too. So
yeah, like
I really like that.
Mortal Engines, that movie that didn't do too well.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah. And the upper city
again, that's another like
that's where I saw Alita's
guilty
trailer.
pleasure movie.
I mean, like the upper city is so like it's bright. As you said, it's more closer to the sun and all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Just to answer a question in chat, what aspect of Arcane doesn't share with Alita, and the fact that they've got flying machines. There you go.
Yeah. Right.
You're not allowed flying machines near Zala.
True.
There's a lot of magic. I mean, there's a lot of magic in this. It's League of Legends.
And they did, and in a sense, it's both something they don't share in common, and that they do share is that is hex tech. They didn't want the Undercity to have it. But in Zalem's case, they only kept the best of the cybernetics, and the scrap they just shed out the arse of Zalem and ended up in Iron City. So
quite literally.
What is very predominant in Alita is that they for that kind of reason that they don't want the people of Iron City to get any stupid ideas and try to attack Zalem. It's not like that they couldn't defend themselves. They just don't want to obliterate the workers, So yeah, it's just for
and there's another aspect that Arcane has that Alita doesn't. Is that is the interaction between the upper and lower classes.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously that just never happened in Alita, whereas with Arcane, you did have the patrols into the lanes, as they call it.
You do have that in Alita as well, because
and you do have the
spider bots are deployed as enforcers for Zalem. So yeah, kind of exist, yeah. But they are only there to maintain the city or
Is Arcane is Arcane on Earth, or is that in a separate universe, or what?
It's a different universe.
It's a different universe.
Different planet, kind of.
Yeah.
You can kind of see a connection with Full Metal Alchemist. Just the uniform designs, the Philosopher's Stone idea.
Right. Look at these guys in the back.
That kind of 18th or early 19th or late 19th century kind of style. Yeah.
I mean,
and of course, Arcane has different races, whereas Earth doesn't.
Different species of magical creatures.
You mean creatures. Yeah.
And another thing is that Iron City and Zalem are very isolated. There's no like other population centers or other countries.
Yeah.
They're like what's left after the Earth's been ravaged. And in this land, obviously, there's a whole bunch of other governments and countries, and they all interact. That's the whole thing with the Hextech gates to increase trade between the different countries, which is why it was so important. So that's something that's quite a lot different between the two franchises.
Of course, we will probably learn with the sequels that the world isn't just one city and that it's a lot larger. But in regard, like for you hear that as well?
Static. What is that?
And for Arcane, it's also the similar situation. We know that there is something out there. They tell us that, but we also only get to see that one city in a very, very big world. Like
someone said hi.
League of Legends game has a huge lore, and there's so much still left to uncover. Yeah, we will probably never see everything, but like parts as well, and they have simply a huge choice. We know a little bit about Noxus now. We heard, I'm not sure if we heard about other regions, maybe Shurima, but just 2 regions were even just name dropped, and there are like 7 or 8 different regions that you can explore there. So yeah, we just know one city.
I'm just looking at the screen. I'm trying to click on that Caitlyn picture. And then I realized, oh wait, this isn't my screen. It's yours.
Which Caitlyn picture?
That one, yeah.
So,
I'd say she's
fight me.
No, I'm agreeing with you. She's probably my favorite character alongside Echo, personally.
That's a great design, definitely.
Really? She's your favorite character? Oh, I don't think
her, Echo, and Heimerdinger.
It's like that cupcake, huh?
Yeah, I like cupcakes.
Yeah.
Can't help but love the fact.
Kind of cute, because also she's really unlikely character.
Well, you think about her as a character. She doesn't have to do all this shit. She's highborn. She could just go off and have an easy life and, you know, manipulate people like all the other highborns do. No, she gets down and dirty. She gets in there and tries to sort shit out and realizes how bad the lanes have got it and wants to change that.
Right. As she learns quickly, and in that regard, she's close to her because she has also this naive idea how to approach problems, things she can find an easy way or a shortcut, basically, and realizes that there is no shortcut and that it will take a while and all that stuff. But yeah, in that regard, like Caitlyn has and Alita share this trait.
There's that Thanos gauntlet.
I swear, every time I see
I don't know
that
how
right
she's
there.
lifting that up, but okay.
And she has 2 of them.
There's some things that don't make sense, but okay.
Yeah, it's a case of Thanos had one, I've got 2 bitches.
There's one scene that shows something very interesting. One part where I think that Gauntlet got stabbed and that Hextech connection got severed. She instantly the Gauntlet dropped to the ground. Like she couldn't hold it up anymore. So I think that Hextech thing has some kind of anti-gravity
levitation
going on.
Oh,
levitation.
I didn't realize that.
That helps. It makes the Gauntlet light in your hands.
I really like that.
Yeah.
An explanation. All right.
The attention to detail.
Do you reckon it'd be
added a lot?
Do you reckon it would be like in what they call an inertial dampener in a Starship Fighter?
Something like that is. Well, when I was playing the game back then, I was thinking like that is completely stupid. Like those gauntlets must weigh like 50 pounds each or more, or 100 pounds, you know. Yeah.
But yes, we've addressed most of the points from the difference in the cities, the politics, aesthetics, character traits. Some of the other ones that I haven't mentioned that are on the show notes, they got sort of, I guess, linked into other topics like the politics and social stratifications. And then the social side of the socioeconomics got linked into the comparisons of the 2 cities and things like that. But are there any other topics or comparisons that we haven't addressed yet that you guys wanted to quickly bring up?
I know there's a lot of duality in Arcane, from the characters to the city,
Yes.
to the personalities. Yeah, and Alita, I guess we don't quite see that yet. Maybe other than Zalem, Iron City, and there's some dualities. Yeah, but they're really emphasizing Arcane.
Yes, it's a lot.
Vi and Jinx. Yeah, and they're trying to find that equilibrium kind of thing. But
There's a lot of gray in this show.
yeah.
Way more so than the Alita movie.
Yeah, I'm that's probably my what would say a biggest gripe. I mean, if you look like deep enough in Audio, you will see also a lot of nuances. But yeah, it's still like a lot, but a lot of the stuff is kind of not as great as it could have been. So there's a lot of this good and bad. And especially with Nova, when he said, "Yeah, I just want to watch people die," like, yeah, come on,
The manga Nova would like that too. I think. I don't know.
It's kind of funny, but the whole dynamic between Jinx and what's his name, Soko, I don't really know how to explain why I thought this. I kind of had it, but I lost track of a lot of the things I was thinking about earlier. But that little dynamic kind of reminded me a little bit. Obviously, with some things being wildly different. That Ouroboros section, when Nova and Alita, like, and how he visualized things, if he had discovered her instead, kind of reminded me. It makes you wonder how different Alita would have been had Nova been the one to, I don't know if raise her is the right word to use, but.
Oh, that's cool.
Use other
you
artwork.
You see that one here on my screen? They made a Hextech Expo. They designed that whole thing.
That's cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
I still rather go to Creaky's Kansas Bar. Sorry.
It's a damn shame they didn't go all out with the marketing with Alita like they did this.
Yeah. Well, this is
I know it's different, but
Legends. I mean,
I know.
That's the problem.
How many episodes of this has there been? I mean, they're still in season 1, aren't they? Or are they just starting?
9. Nine episodes.
Nine. Yeah,
Sorry,
season 1 is completed, and it's a cliffhanger. What a shock! Just like
Yeah.
And each episode's 1 hour.
Well, 40 something.
40 something minutes. So, the thing is, we got 2 hours on Alita, and this one's got like 6 hours or 7 hours.
Yeah.
So they can put a lot more into it, like that.
Right.
That they could do that with an Alita series. If they had this kind of artwork, like you see here for Alita, an Alita series, oh my God. It'd be killer. It would absolutely be killer.
And you can see it still can be very successful. Yeah.
Someone mentioned it earlier, but with and I know they were mentioning like a few months ago, or maybe even last year, where I think it might have even been Disney that was hiring Japanese animators to do their animations, and Shinji Aramaki's name was thrown around quite a lot. And he's the kind of guy that did shows like Starship Troopers and that kind of level of animation. And while I think the more artistic view suits Arcane more, I do sort of feel that the more computer generated animation would probably fit Alita better as well. Probably be easier to fit with Alita.
It would be.
Absolutely. I mean, here's another connection with Alita and maybe Jinx. People were complaining about Alita's boobs, but it's the opposite of Jinx. They're saying her boobs aren't big enough.
It's kind of funny.
They find something to bitch about.
I've been seeing some comments on League of Legends channels.
Some idiots, some people who don't know the game will probably say so, But that's a character model from the game. She was introduced that way, and yeah, back then when the character was newly introduced, there were some complaints about her boobs. But in the meantime, people got used to her, and if you would change it now, then people would complain a lot. And
it actually makes sense that they don't make her more like Vi, more robusty, whatever. Because the idea is that she's supposed to look kind of pale, almost sickly, like she's in the underworld, and that's kind of anorexic, kind of albino. That's the style they're going for.
Yeah, and it works for her.
Yeah, it definitely works with the character. That Harley Quinn kind of look a little.
And I'm completely fine with that character. That's one of the best designed characters in the game, So
just like the eyes make sense to Alita's story, just people don't realize that she's a Martian alien.
Yeah, and also what is cool is like to think about. Like, I think that movies like Alita or even before Ghost in the Shell, like they had to take some dirt. To open up the space for the things that come after. People like love to crap on things that are kind of new or fresh, and Ghost in the Shell did go some ways, new ways that people do love to hate on, and Alita also, a lot of people simply love to trash that movie, but at least Alita, opened up so much space so that series like Arcane could have also more acceptance, in my opinion. So. And now with Arcane having like such a great, resonance with the people, it also will open up a space for a leader series or movies, because that series is now putting a lot of pressure on Disney to perform, to get any kind of series out that is like a bomb like that one. And Alita has that potential, it has that great world, and they could put out an animated series that explores the outskirts, not just Iron City, but goes into ventures into the world. And with that kind of animation style, and a lot of people were clamoring for more, anime-esque style. They could maybe do a hybrid between like you see like an American style and Japanese anime style with a little bit of CG and a little bit drawn. What we've seen in Arcane, yeah, and now they got told, like, literally, hey, Disney, that's the thing we want to see. Make something like that, and they have it there. They have the ingredients there, and they're still I don't see them moving. They should already announce anything, So
and that's why if we can get Alita on Netflix and Netflix contacts Disney, it reminds them that they have the movie called Alita Battle Angel. Yeah, someone in that hierarchy in Netflix, that someone has a connection.
It also sounds like one of Disney's shareholders needs to write another letter. That's what I think.
I just think a lot of Disney board members needs Leroy Jethro Gibbs slap on the back of the head. But anyway, that's just my personal opinion. But flipping at it from a different angle, I reckon this also shows the potential of an Alita video game as well. I mean, since Arcane is based from League of Legends, why not reverse engineer it and make an Alita game out of it? If they ever did develop
MOBA wouldn't work. MOBA wouldn't probably work, but I could imagine an RPG style of game, with Alita, so like maybe not a multiplayer game, but so like where you can explore or play the story, in a game. I'm not sure, or maybe do some kind of motorball game or something like that.
I won't go into the comparisons that the character I'm about to mention shares with the leader, but the Tomb Raider series obviously focuses on the one character, and they've developed 3 games of the current reboot, and they've done that pretty well. And that's just a basic platform puzzle solving adventure sort of game.
Good one too.
They've got that angle. You could get away with, if you wanted to give more choices, get away with either an MMO or like a Mass Effect sort of set up, because in a way, you know, Mass Effect focuses on Shepard, and obviously an Alita game can focus on Alita. But, you know, even she's got companions around, or she surrounds herself with companions that assist her from time to time. They come in and out of her life. So, you know, the possibilities are endless. But like I said, someone just needs to take a bat to the chair, like the next Disney Plus day, fucking whatever you want to call it. I'm sorry, I'm doing another bloody.
After Avatar 2, if we don't hear anything after 3 months after Avatar 2, or because then they'll know how much Avatar made, then they'll determine what to do next. Then we should definitely really be pushing them, because after Avatar 2 is when we'll really know, I think, because they're gonna use that money from that movie.
I think social media wise, do that after Boba Fett. And then the results of that, I think we'll see, you know, like you said, 3 or 4 months, or perhaps up to a year after Avatar. Because don't forget, you know, they've filmed 2 and 3 back to back, and now they've just finished 4 and 5 back to back. They'll probably release Avatar movies like clockwork every 2 to 3 years, and sort of use that as, like, you know, climbing out of the trenches of the COVID-induced movie industry. But yeah,
well, I think definitely around February we should think about a hashtag trend, especially for Netflix. I really think we could get Alita on Netflix. It just gets her name out there, introduced to another audience that doesn't go to Disney Plus. You know, I mean, there's so much anime on Netflix, and it just makes sense, I think, for a period of time at least.
I mean, I could imagine that they would be interested to get that stuff on the platform for a while, and it worked well in Canada. So maybe
she might be coming. I don't know, but we should keep reminding them. You know, tag them once in a while.
Definitely. I mean, up to now, there must have been a reason that they didn't even priorly acquired there on Netflix. Probably because Disney had some own plans with that. You know, put it on Disney Plus first. After the HBO deal ran out, so I guess maybe they try it after a while to get it on other platforms again, like Netflix.
I mean, people think these things are like set in stone, but it's up to some director basically. He basically says, "Oh, okay, yeah, we have Alita on Disney Plus. We were gonna say we'll keep her on there for 2 years, then move over to Netflix." He might say, "Well, let's just move her now." I mean, there are people who have power who could just change stuff like that.
Yeah, we can.
It could also. I forget who mentioned it. I forget who mentioned it, but it could also just be a money issue. Like, it's like, all right, well, if Netflix wants to pay us, then they can.
Yeah, that's what would happen.
Put a leader on there. I think it was you that mentioned it.
Well, there's a precedent in Canada, so you know it's not impossible.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is it in Mexico or no? I don't think it's in Mexico yet on their VPN.
What's in Mexico?
Have they released Alita and Netflix in Mexico, or is it just Canada? I think it was just Canada and.
There's Canada and a couple of other, like
just
weird places that.
Okay.
Like not just within what we consider the Western world either. It could be the South Americans, the Orange, Asian,
America first,
European, couple of European things here.
It's kind of amazing to me that they haven't already done that.
I know, that pisses me off. It's an American film and they release in some third world countries. I mean, give me some bullshit.
Yeah.
You think those people have money to go pay monthly bills on Netflix? I mean,
not only that, 85 million domestically isn't something to be scoffed at either.
It's in America, like, that's not that big.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, I know that.
But big. It is now.
True.
Yeah, but you all think it's going to depend on China, but once that war starts with Taiwan, Hollywood's going to suffer. It's happening.
Hollywood's already kind of distancing themselves from China.
Yeah, they are. Did you hear about the news about the tennis player too? Jeez.
Yeah, let's not go there. Not the place,
not on
young
stream.
man.
I'm just saying, don't rely on China in the next 10, 15 years. Things are going to go down. I'm
Well, we
really
shouldn't
serious
have
about
to
that.
anyway. Yeah, that's the thing that really gets
We
me.
got
Is
the
that
population. That's a problem.
we shouldn't. The fact that China saved it, I think, is one kind of ironic. And
Yeah,
the
it
other
is because the
thing,
movies are kind of
right? Well, I'm kind of with Sarista on some of his views on why certain things
Yeah.
are cut out of the story in the Alita movie, but I'll spare that for another day. But
Yeah.
they
really
can't
angry
rely
at
on
Japan.
China.
I'm angry.
Oh,
at
yeah,
Japan.
absolutely.
Fuck you,
It's
Japan.
amazing to me how they didn't show up.
I know. Like, what the hell?
But people are showing up now, and I think
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. It'd been better if more showed up back then. But hey, as long as they keep coming, I can't complain.
Yeah.
And before I throw it to the panel for their final thoughts, I mean, Rod himself said he'd rather make a movie that people would remember in the years to come, rather than having it make $1 billion and then people just jump onto the next bandwagon or the next fad or the next shiny object.
Right.
The next
And
powder.
he's right. It shows.
You know,
Sniff that powder.
It's funny you said that. 'Cause I was kind of assuming that's how this show was going to be. I didn't even
Wait,
want to see
powder?
it. Like
Powder?
Yeah, powder's my new powder,
that. I found her.
Don't snort the crazy.
Though, as far I know, the two.
Ironic that she's called powder then.
Her and Alita are really not really that much alike at all, minus some bits in the beginning.
Yeah.
But I have to say, for the parts of Alita where she does go off the wall and lose her shit, and she does several times, she really did remind me of Jinx on a few occasions.
Same.
Yeah, but what,
for me,
but for Alita, it's like only occasionally. For Jinx, it's like 24/7.
Well, you gotta think though. Alita surrounds herself. Yeah, she surrounds herself with some pretty bad people too. But she also has friends that, for one thing, Figure put her in her place. She wasn't too far off from becoming what Jinx is now. Whereas Jinx basically was, not just traumatized by what she did. People, I've seen a lot of discussion on this because I've been digging into it way too much recently. I've gone down the rabbit hole. It wasn't just Silco. It was the combination of him, Vi, not really understanding what has actually happened to her. Because she doesn't really understand what's going on. She knows that her sister's different, but not to the extent that she doesn't really realize just how far gone she really is.
But I think Jinx at the end though, she starts to come to a realization that she knows what's causing her misery.
She knows.
It's Piltover.
It's guilt,
and she's just like Zalem, and she's gonna put revenge on it. I think.
No, it's not Piltover. It's the guilt that she has from
that too. But I think she's really putting her hatred on the city.
But...
Yeah.
Oh, that's exactly what she's doing.
She puts her hate on the city.
She's.
I guess as a kid, she was like, she hated to be like this useless person, in the group, being powerless and all. Even though she had enormous talent, like she could handle guns like nobody else in that group. She was good at fixing stuff and building stuff. But nobody has seen her worth like in that regard. And she tried to be like the others instead of doing her own thing. Like that was a big problem.
It's one of the things that
see her own worth.
And her sister was always trying to say again, Maxie.
There's a certain shared intensity if you look at this image.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, actually, the scene where she fires the rocket, a little spoiler, but towards the city, it reminds me of that scene.
That one.
Yeah, well, that was the whole focus of Zensui's video.
That's probably the closest similarity there is in this entire thing. Is that last?
Like
that revenge
pointing a weapon at the city that brought her all the pain. So.
It's just sad. I mean, whereas Alita, she'll get beat down, but she always finds a way to crawl back up. Whether it's on her own or with friends. It's usually with support of her friends, I've noticed. But Jinx doesn't even have that. The only support system she really had, you could argue that the sister came back. But it's Silco. And Silco, people, look, the dude's a piece of shit. This is my opinion. he's not a good human being at all.
You see those memes where they
But
say
he
Silco
did
was a
actually
good
love
father?
her. No, he was a terrible father. But the thing is, he loved Jinx for what she was. And he didn't actually create her. That's the thing. I mean, he didn't help.
She blames Vi.
He just
Vi, it's a
enabled it.
combination of Vi, Silco, and
The
to a
two
certain
boys.
Silco, because she's going through a similar thing that he went through, he more or less validates pretty much any hatred that she has for those she thinks responsible, Vi being one of them. She was abandoned.
That's also-
I mean, or at least she thinks she was abandoned.
Yeah.
Things that, and also he let slip a lot of stuff for that he wouldn't tolerate with any other person. Like she fucks up, she jinxes up stuff all the time, even under Silco. He can't control her, and he don't want to put shackles on her.
Yep.
And he's conflicted because, like, she's the sole reason why he was like basically losing the grip in the city, and people start losing respect from him. And try to even kill him and all that stuff. And he still.
But he kept doing what he did because of his little surrogate daughter.
Right. He stood to his daughter, and he was probably the person who understood her in the whole series the best.
Yep. And that's the sad part, because Vi's over here, right, spoilers, right there at the end, trying to more or less, let's see if I can switch her back. That's not going to happen. It doesn't work like that. Not even.
She says literally, I want powder back. So she's literally rejecting the person she has become now.
And as she brings up all those names, it actually, if you notice, she gets in that scene when she's freaking out and she's Vi's yelling all the names of Clagger and Milo and all that. She's actually getting smaller. Like the monsters are getting bigger and bigger as the scene progresses, up until the point, well, you know how it goes.
Does she also have a case of like schizophrenia? Because I thought Jinx does have some kind of mental disorder.
Yeah, she does.
Someone was saying in another YouTube review video
schizophrenic.
So that adds to her, whether she's really innocent or is she a victim to that disability and everything.
She's a victim. It's a little bit of both. She doesn't really give a shit about other people's lives, I've noticed, except for those of which she cares about. Which that's kind of like Alita in some ways, because she really, for the most part, doesn't really care about the lives of other people. But it's just, at least to a certain degree, there are some exceptions. But
we can use
mind blowing up an entire city of children, just to save Lao. So I mean, they're not in that regard. You could see a little bit of that. But it's different.
We can use that as your last words. But the last word that we haven't heard from, Maxi or even Creaky, even though I know you haven't seen the series just yet.
Spoiled.
Whoops, I'm muted. I have a last word. Vale Sky, the poor lass, she didn't deserve it.
What?
Sky. You don't remember what happened to Sky?
Who's Sky? I forgot.
Sky is the
Holy shit!
Girl.
How could you forget that?
I'll give you a clue.
I didn't forget the scene. I forgot her name.
You could say that
very much the snap.
You could say that she was turned to powder.
Yeah, she was turned to powder.
Poor was it? Yeah, Victor. Yeah.
God, I forgot about
man.
that.
Hex tech before sex tech.
Bruh.
He's like,
really?
he's only eyes on the prize, like non-stop. Yeah. But if your life is depending on that, if your life is depending on that, you might be turned to that guy. So.
Yeah, he was over there trying to push the limits, and you see how that bit him in the ass. Kind of happens to Nova sometimes too.
He was warned.
Well, I got a last word, I guess. Is like I said a while ago, if they did an Alita series, like for instance, like Mars Chronicles, or they just did an Alita series, that if it used this kind of artwork, I think it'd be wonderful. And I think one of the things I'm going to do, I'm going to write Disney a letter. Not that it's going to matter a whole lot, but kind of tell them, hey, I've just watched Arcane, because I'm going to watch it. But I just watched Arcane, and boy, wouldn't it be great if you guys came up with a Alita series that was as high a quality as this, and then just leave it at that. So
it is quite impressive that something that's a video game that's considered quite annoying can generate something of this quality. I find that impressive because most video game to even animation conversions like this, they often fall flat. Excuse me.
Almost every time.
I think they've found people that like really care, and this kind of animation style, I think you have an advantage compared to going live action. Live action is intrinsically harder to get pull off well because there's simply not enough, samples as an experience to know as experience to pull from to make great adaptations. There's still not enough good game adaptations out there to have some kind of formula, and you see Hollywood because of that stumbling around. And this one, with that kind of animation style, they hit a gold mine.
Absolutely.
And that studio, that's a French studio that made that. They had already like a really, really well-made style and really cool ideas. They just need, and they let those people like do their thing. They didn't like micromanage them.
I love
that. Took 6 years to make.
And the thing that
how much money was it?
Fox actually I've actually not even looked into that. I kind of wonder how much it cost too.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm trying to find it.
But I bet the marketing was expensive as fuck. God, there were so many ads for this.
I didn't have even seen.
Well, before we close it out, I would say if they ever did, knowing Hollywood, making it to a live action, considering it starts with the letter A, at least let Cameron handle it. He's got Avatar, he's got Alita. Just let him have Arcane too while he's at it. He's good at that shit.
I could see them making a live action from something like this. I mean, I don't.
It'd be hard, I think.
But it'd be I think it'd be pretty cool.
Well, it'd be Cameron's innovation, I reckon. That would be his selling point, because he definitely needs some level of CGI for it. That's for sure.
He'd probably get really interesting with the whole technology angle of it, since it's kind of a hybrid of magic.
Some people are throwing around the 10 million per episode number.
Fuck.
Yeah, 10 million an episode.
Jeez.
Yeah, per episode.
Ooh.
So that whole thing was 19 million.
It's league points, they have money.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
I'm not sure if they are spot on, because it doesn't seem that there are numbers out there. But 10 million is what the people that are here.
I can believe that. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. What's nice about the whole thing is that, and this is what we need to get more of, is that not just Riot did the writing on this, but also, and I'm gonna butcher the name, but the French studio that did it, for Cheech or whatever, I can't pronounce it, but they also wrote on this.
Also, here a check mark saying, like, just for your information, Arcane's budget is way beyond a normal TV animation budget by many millions of dollars. It's literally one of the most expensive animated series on. So
makes sense.
Imagine Dragons wasn't cheap.
People were here not complaining, but comparing Blade Runner, Black Lotus, CGI to Arcane, and we're complaining why is that one looking better than the other. And she delivered you an answer.
Budget. There's a lot of. Yeah, I'm not surprised it's that much.
The animation style took some getting used to at first. The first episode, I'm like, this is a little weird, but it kind of worked. It was like a blend of 3D American style, French, and Japanese.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. They hand painted all that shit. My God, can you imagine? I feel bad for the animators. Can you imagine? Sitting there using the keyboard all the time. Oh my God.
Oh, did you guys know Miyazaki is back? He's gonna be doing a lot of hand paintings. Hayao Miyazaki, that guy, famous. He does a lot of, in his like Miyazaki films, he does a lot of the paintings, so they're more detailed in the foreground, and I think in Arcane there's a lot of detail in the background as well.
Oh yeah. It's one of the things that drew me into it, was just how much their attention to detail in general. It was just phenomenal with this.
I wonder if the producers knew about Alita, though. I wonder if they looked up as a little reference research, say, let's look up cyberpunk and steampunk, let's see what we can get.
See, I wonder just how much influence was or wasn't there, because Alita was
was
still relatively new. I mean, it's been about roughly 3 years almost, but
Well,
That's
they
not that long. And this
Yeah.
has been in development for fucking what, 7, 8 years
yeah.
now?
6 years at least, I think.
Yeah.
That's a good little while there. And
Mhm.
now I don't know when they finished the scenes for the show, but a lot of this stuff is already done years ahead of it actually coming out.
I think
So-
also with that 6 years, I don't think that they probably needed the 6 years just to do that one first season. I guess they have material down for several seasons, but that's probably the tempo they are releasing it. Not everything.
There
at
was a
once.
delay because of
There's-
COVID 1 year.
Yeah, also a delay,
Right.
but I guess
So
they
really it was
have
5 years,
already
yes.
made some pre-work finished, or maybe they have already a finished second season, just waiting to get released later down the line, or the work they have to do or still have to do is not as much anymore, so that they could see a second season the next year or the year after. So
Right.
I imagine that. If you think of that, even if it costs 80 to 90 million to do a series like that, and you have 9 episodes, 6 hours, that's still far cheaper than doing a $190 million budget movie,
Right.
which has only 2 hours and is way riskier than doing that.
It makes me really lean toward the Alita series next, then live action. I know some may be like, no, but I think
Yeah, the problem with Netflix is there's so many shows. You're just kind of just like eating a burger, like just you go through and you know about one year, then you forget. Like Stranger Things is starting to die down. I mean, even though there's another season coming out, but people aren't really looking forward to it.
it's because Stranger Things is long since extended
And
to
they
12.
kind of went a little overboard.
They've really
Got
pushed it on
wacky.
that.
They got a little wacky.
Don't milk it. Don't fuck. Oh, I do
Yeah,
too.
they
I do
milked
too.
it.
But
I love the 80s vibe.
I do too.
I see
too.
things in
I
that show
mean,
that
I
I
love it.
remember from my childhood. It's like
it's weird. I didn't even grow up during that time, but my dad loved that stuff, and I grew up with a lot of it too, even stuff from the 60s. So I love that too, but after a certain point, they just start milking it, and that's kind of what I hope.
Ghostbusters, they're doing
I
the
hope
80s
that
thing.
does.
Yeah.
Yes, I hope
would
that.
All
hope
does
right,
get
we're
out
getting a
there.
little bit off the beaten path here, guys. So I'm going to
Okay.
wrap it up there. Topic seems because people's availabilities are different from week to week. Topics can change, and you could attribute that to just a part of the general chaos of Radio Chaos. But with any luck, and funnily enough, one of Enigma's other suggestions is in Battle Angel Alita and Tanya Battle Demon. Are they?
I was
two-
really just joking
Yeah,
about that, guys. I wasn't too serious. I was just joking. But if you guys
Well,
know the
Someone
answer,
put it up there.
I didn't put it up there. I think Max did.
you made the
Yeah.
suggestion, man. You just ran with it.
That was like 4 weeks ago. But you can
You
change it, I don't
you
care.
coming back next week for it, Enigma?
Probably not.
Oh, come on.
I'll come on if I make some news or something. I don't know, or like some show like Arcane comes out again that's similar to Alita. But Tanya's just it's interesting, but it's just one of those animes that's just passing.
There
by.
is a show that's similar to Alita that's currently out.
Oh, what was that one you mentioned? Yeah, that's fair.
Black Lotus.
Yeah, Black Lotus. Okay,
So also,
check
that,
that out.
didn't get much screen time today.
that's purely Japanese, isn't it? Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
it's
I
not
said,
gonna get
Robert-
attention.
The series
But,
is that it's hard to find it. I tried it to see it on Netflix or Amazon, but it's nowhere you can see it.
It's on Crunchyroll because it's a Crunchyroll exclusive.
Yeah, it's a little
Yeah,
more
well,
niche, I think.
When I say exclusive, it's Crunchyroll and what's it? The other
Tsunami.
one?
Does that still exist?
Something chicken or something? I can't remember.
Anyway,
you mean yeah. I know what you mean.
but like I said, mentioned, it could change. If, for example, Cran or Rotten are available, it could become another art stream because their time is very rare, it's very valued. So if they are free, then we're definitely going to have them on, and I'd be more than happy to just push everything back down 1 week just to fit them into more to fit another art stream in, because I just love their work. But stick around, because we're getting close to that 99 episode mark. And yeah, I mean, I'm still at a loss of what we're going to do for that one, but we're definitely going to have some sort of big celebration, that's for sure.
I'm working on it.
That's what I'd love to hear. But
so Black Lotus is a Crunchyroll Adult Swim original.
If you wanted to, we will let you know, as we always do, when we get the advertisement and when that damn Angelus guy gets the show notes done. See, I can even pay myself out.
It saves me doing it, doesn't it?
Yeah, thought I might help you out in some way. But eventually we'll have a topic set in place. And if you wanted to come join us, at the end of every single Radio KAOS show, we have the link to the guest sign-up sheet. You can just sign up to discuss any one of the topics that we have up. You could even suggest your own topic and chuck it in there. It can be comparing Alita to any sort of show or character, or it could be, an aspect of the Alita movie that you wanted to share. That's the whole point of Radio KAOS. That's the whole point of this fandom, to share what you love with other people that love the same stuff. If you're also feeling a little bit nervous and you wanted to dip your toes into the kiddie end of the pool, we do have Creaky and I's stream basically 24 hours prior to this one. It does start at, this is going off my Aussie time here, but that starts at 9 a.m. my time, and Radio KAOS starts at 7 a.m. So I don't know what it is for the Americans.
It's a couple hours late. It's a couple hours later.
But I know it's like in the afternoon/evening. So
yeah.
In the afternoon/evening on your Friday. So just as you're coming home from work, that's Creaky stream. And then Saturday today, Radio KAOS. So come join us for that. There's no requirements. There usually is a topic, but whether we stick to it or not is basically decided on the day itself. We usually do try to stick with it, and we had I reckon, quite an enjoyable one. I quite enjoyed it anyway. Maybe it's because I finally got weekends off and I can finally stream with you guys again. It feels so good to be back. But I mean, just to, again, give Maxie a bit of a rest. I will definitely try to host next week as well. And talking about things to be thankful for, it's great to have Foxfire and Enigma get back on. I mean, I know I talk to you guys on Twitter and in DMs, but it's good to hear your voices again. Good to be on stream with you guys, and it's other fans like you where I really sort of feel like I'm being educated whenever I get your input. So
yeah.
And for the same reason, for that exact same reason, well, thanks to all the listeners that join us today, whether it's in the early morning, lunchtime, afternoon, evening, or night, or what I call the graveyard shift, like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, like probably is for Fox, so I won't drag it on for too long. It's you that makes the fandom special. It's you that makes us stick around to talk about Alita, to talk about the comparisons and anything and everything to do with it. It's why we even deviate from topics for so long. It's why we can just drag on and on and on.
Sorry.
Or you get the idea. And that, like I said, that's not necessarily a bad thing either. But yes, thanks for coming on. And because we're running it from StreamYard, I'm guessing you've got Picard and Data lined up?
Yes.
Alrighty, so on my count of 3, the call to action, which is film. 1, 2, 3. Film those
Circle,
baby.
baby.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Catch you later.
All right, thanks guys for having me on.
Oh,
You know, back when I was in the academy, we would follow every toast with a song.
You can't.
conversation. Unbroken sentence moving from topic to topic. No one had a chance to interrupt. It was quite hypnotic.
That's an interesting twist.
He was an idiot.